everyone, welcome to Sri Chaitanya YouTube channel. My name is Kiran Chaudhary and today we will be discussing what are the reasons behind your low score in the mock test and how it can significantly affect your chances of selection in the upcoming NEET 2026 exam. So let's check out what could be the possible 5 reasons. First, my dear students, I would like to set the stats straight, where I would like to make you aware how many students appeared or how many students registered for the last NEET 2025 exam. So if you notice, registered students were somewhere around more than 22 lakh, right? And how many students appeared? Again, somewhere around 22 lakhs. So yeah, the number of registered as well as number of students who are appearing is pretty high. If I talk about the stats for this year, how many students have registered for NEET 2026 exam, they are roughly between 25 to 26 lakhs. So yeah, there is a significant increase in number of students who will be writing the upcoming NEET exam. But yeah, these numbers, they can give you some kind of fear. They can make you feel, okay, so many students are going to fight for the limited government medical college seats in India. Yes, that's true. But there's also another type of stats that you need to look at to understand how much do you really need to score to get a normal government medical college seat, or to get a good college seat, or to get into the most premium medical colleges of India. Okay, so let's see where the students were lying with respect to NEET 2025 report. So if we talk about how many students were roughly around 650, or I should say above 650, they were just 73 students. So out of these students which have appeared somewhere around 22 lakhs, so 73 students, it is even lesser than 0.01%, right? So the one who are scoring above 650 are so less. You are about to write NEET 2026, you must have seen NEET 2025 exam paper. It was pretty good. Physics was tough, even chemistry as well as biology was good, lengthy and also tricky with respect to at least 5 to 6 questions minimum. Now, if I talk about, my dear students, how many students were between 601 to 650? 1259. Yeah. 73 only above 650, between 601 to 650, 1259. Now see here, this is where you need to focus. So 600 and above, very few students. Above 650, extremely few students. 551 to 600, 10,658, very high number. 501 to 550, 39,521, and 551 to 500, 69,503. Now please understand, my dear students, most of you who are watching this video, you might be in this category of 451 to 500, or some of you might be in this category of 501 to 550. Some very few will be in 551 to 600 category, and if you are falling in this particular category, excellent. Please be consistent, and if you are in this category, work hard to get into this one. So I'm going to discuss about these 3 categories more here, my dear students, in this session. So please notice, if you are aiming for a seat in the government medical college, somewhere you need to score in this range, 501 to 550. So your target score in the NEET 2026 exam should be somewhere around 550. This is what you need to get. Whether the paper is going to be tough or extremely tough, whatever, your target score has to be 550. Let's say if the question paper is easy, you might score somewhere around 600 or 600 plus, but your target score has to be 550, not less than that. So you have to aim for 550 at least to be, my dear students, in that section of students who are going to get into the government medical colleges this academic year. Very, very important. If you are in 551 to 600, you will be in good medical colleges. This one obviously the best, and this is the most premium one. Most premium one. Now also note, you might have seen that there are many students who qualify. When you will write the NEET exam, when you will get the score, many of you will be getting the this word written that you are qualified for this exam. But qualification itself does not guarantee a seat in a government medical college. Please notice this. So qualification is not the selection. Only roughly around 0.1% of the qualified students score above 600. Please note this. And they will be getting into the best medical colleges. Now next point we need to understand is how can you jump from this step to this category, from this category to this, or even from this to this. So these are the 5 reasons which we are going to discuss in this session. The first one probably could be, my dear students, you are using a wrong strategy to attempt the question paper. Most probably you are not doing, or you are not attempting the question paper in the right way. So whenever I come across, or whenever I see students doing question paper, and when as a feedback, when I take how was your exam, how was your test, they generally say that we have done a lot of revision, we practiced a lot, but somehow we are not able to get that score that we were aiming for, that kind of preparation we have done, we are not getting that kind of result. So when I ask them, okay, how did you attempt the question paper, 99% of them will give me such an answer which gives me an idea, okay, they are not doing it, they are not attempting the question paper in the right way. So let's discuss what is the right way to attempt question paper. So always notice, my dear students, you should have a strategy. And you need to have a very strong, determined mindset. So that day when you write NEET exam, it's completely out of your hand. You have no control on the question paper when you're going to open it, which section will come, what kind of questions you're going to see first. So for example, for a particular student, let's say you are not good in, let's say, organic chemistry, and you open the question paper and the first 10 questions are on those sections of organic chemistry which you're sure you're not going to get them right. Very, very less chance that you will be able to attempt them. Now what could be the first immediate reaction? You will panic. You'll panic and you might waste your 10 to 15 minutes. Your hands might shake, your mind might go numb, or maybe you will start feeling like quitting. So that is exactly where a strong, determined, a warrior kind of a mindset is going to help you. So what in this kind of situation, how you should talk to yourself. So this self-talk, this self-motivation is going to help you, because at that a moment on that day, your teacher, your parents will not be there. It is you who is going to talk to yourself. So at that moment, you need to tell to yourself, you need to calm, drink some water, sit for 1 or 2 minutes and just talk to yourself, okay, this is just the 10 question. You still have 170 more questions, which is still a mystery. And it is not always that all the remaining question will also going to be equally tougher. And this stat, you should remember this stat. So somewhere, no matter how difficult, no matter you're getting 10 questions on organic chemistry which you're not able to solve, or maybe 15 questions in physics which you are extremely fearful of those topics, on that the questions have come, or maybe the question paper of biology, or maybe some questions in biology, maybe it can be on genetics, it can be on something else, maybe plant physiology, on which you are sure that you won't be able to answer it correctly. So even if you eliminate those questions, you still will be able to score easily 550 marks. So your target first, the minimum requirement should be the selection. So irrespective of what you see when you open the paper, my dear students, you still need to calm yourself, you still need to hold yourself and keep that in your mind that you have come into a war. It's a 3-hour, 180 minutes war, and you're going to fight it. You have studied hard maybe for a year or 2 years, or maybe for some students it might be 3 years. long journey. So you're not going to give up. You will fight with each question, and somehow you will try to get 550 marks, 550 and above. That is going to guarantee you, my dear students, most probably going to guarantee you a seat in the government medical college. So why am I saying all this? So that if you're lucky and if you don't face such questions while opening the question paper, it's great. But what if you do? So that is how you need to talk to yourself. Pep talk. Okay. Now the strategy. So once you have opened the question paper, it can have any section, whether it is bio or physics or chemistry. You have absolutely no control on that. Now, while giving mock tests, you might be having, or you might have discovered a very most effective pattern in which when you give your test, you score or you are able to maximize your score. So there is no set rule for every student to follow. So it can vary from student to student. I'm telling you what most of the students do. Okay, so most of the students find biology easy, so they'll start with bio. Then they might shift to chemistry and then at the last physics. You can also choose physics, then go to chemistry and bio, or whatever is working for you. You need to check that, and to check that you need to at least solve 50 plus mock tests to do it. I hope you might have solved many mock tests so now. And you might have started doing it in the starting of the preparation also. So you might have figured out. If you haven't figured out, you still have 20 days in your hand. Please do it. So let's say you start with bio and then you move to chemistry and then you move to physics. So when you start attempting the biology section, you don't have to attempt all the bio question in one go. That's a wrong strategy. So always and always, my dear students, when you open or when you decide to do a particular section, let's say biology, just take 2 to 3 minutes to scan all the 90 questions. If the paper is lengthy, you might end up taking 5 minutes. But believe me, investing those 5 minutes can actually save you 20 to 25 minutes, which you can invest in physics or chemistry, wherever it is required. So in those 3 to 5 minutes, scan all the 90 questions of your biology, and I'm pretty sure if you have practiced a lot of questions, so by just looking at the keywords, you will be able to understand, okay, this is an easy question, this one is an easy question. So by looking at the question, if you can imagine what could be the possible answer, that means this is the easiest question and you should do it in the first go. That means in the first round. And while reading, when you come across a question which is lengthy, or maybe it is somewhat difficult for you, you might have practiced in your mock test, you might have got it right, sometimes you might have got incorrect. So either lengthy or you are 50-50 at it, whether you get it right or wrong, you should mark one circle on it. That means you will do it in round 2. Now there might be some other question like a pedigree question. Okay, now by looking at the pedigree question, you might feel, okay, there's no way I can get it correct. Maybe if God supports me today, I will get it correct. This kind of feeling if you have, either you mark that question with double circle or simply cross it. So what does that mean? So the questions in biology section which you have not circled means you're going to attempt it in first round. Because these are the questions where you will give, there is more than 99% chance that you're going to give the right answer, right? And you are going to solve them in less than 30 seconds, maybe 15 seconds, maybe 20 seconds, but you're not going to exceed like 45 seconds for every question in those first round questions of biology. So once you are done with all those questions, and remember, once you have marked the 2 circles or 1 circle on the questions in biology, you have to promise to yourself that you are not even going to read them while attempting the first round questions of biology. Because reading them and trying to take those questions on an ego, like, okay, I am very good at this chapter, how come I am not able to solve this question? Let me see that question. These are all the wrong things with respect to your NEET exam on that day. Okay, you don't have to take anything on your ego, on your heart. You have to be smart. Guys, remember this thing. It's all about smart strategy, smart study, and smartly attempting the exam. So it's not about hard or how hard you have worked or how good you are at a particular concept. It's all about how smartly you should know when to attempt what kind of question. So if it is looking lengthy, if you are dicey about it, if you are like 50-50, or you are pretty sure that there's extremely less chance that you will get it right, please put it at the last. Do not waste your time in reading those questions also in between, because that can actually save you somewhere around 20 to 25 minutes, which you can get that in physics, okay, or chemistry. Now, once you are done with this, my dear students, you can go with, let's say, chemistry. Again, take 2 to 3 minutes, scan the questions, see which you can do in round 1, see which you can do it right round 2 or round 3. Again, same you will do for physics. So, roughly around 1 hour or roughly around 60 minutes it will take, my dear students, for you to attempt those questions where you are 100% sure, you're 100% confident that you will be giving the right answers, until and unless like you make a silly mistake, but you're sure. So round 1 bio, round 1 chemistry, round 1 physics, togetherly you have, this is your ideal time, somewhere around 60 minutes you should take. Okay, somewhere around 60 minutes you should take. Now, some might take 60 minutes, some might take 70, some might take 80 in the initial mock test. But that's your target. That's how you're going to do it. So, round 1. So, just round 1. And also, very, very important, the OMR itself, the OMR filling itself overall for 180 question is going to take you minimum of 20 minutes. And keeping the OMR or filling the OMR at the last, this is the worst possible mistake you can do. And you might regret if you made some mistake in between, if you skip some bubble, that can cost you 10 questions, 20 questions, who knows. So this is not something you would like, or it should not happen with anyone. Okay, so this is my request as well as advice. Please fill the OMR when you are doing a particular section. So you're doing biology, round 1 done, fill the OMR. Round 1 of chemistry done, fill the OMR. Round 1 of physics done, please fill the OMR. Do not keep it at the last. So let's say if you have given somewhere around 20 mock tests, now you are pro at it, you can finish the round 1 in 60 minutes, or at max you can take 70 minutes. Now for the entire question paper you will do round 2. So round 2 should not start until and unless you finish the round 1. And what round 2 and round 1 can possibly give you? So when you are doing the questions in round 1, you're actually securing your selection. So when you do round 1, there is a very, very high chance that you will be scoring somewhere around 501 to 550. This is your round 1. This is what a round 1 can give. Okay, so round 1. So when you do in rounds, this is what you can do. Now, if you are a good student, if you are if your scores are pretty high, pretty good, somewhere you are scoring 600 plus, my dear students, so round 1 can easily give you 550 marks. If you are an average student, maybe round 1 can give you somewhere around 551 to 500 marks. Okay, so average and below average students, obviously it will be lower than that. So it's all dependent upon at what level you are, what kind of preparation you have done, and what kind of results you are getting in your mock test. So round 1, my dear students, will definitely be able to promise you somewhere around 500 marks, whatever category you are falling in, until and unless your revision is very poor, you are not consistently doing the revision, it can go below this. Okay, so remember, so when you do the round 1, you are securing your selection. You are now in the category of somewhere around 40,000 students that is going to guarantee you at least a seat in a medical college. Round 1. Round 1 is your target. Round 1 is your target to get the selection. So this is what I am giving you as a target. Obviously, there will be many factors, many things which will not be in your control. So maybe when you're doing round 1, if you're not getting 550, somewhere around 501 or somewhere around 480, 475, it is still pretty good. It is still pretty good. This is your target, although. Now in round 2, what are you going to do? The lengthy questions or the questions which are not very confident about, 50-50 condition, maybe 2 options you are confused. So you can do it again for biology round 2, chemistry round 2, physics round 2. That is also somewhere it is going to take you 60 minutes. Now when you do round 2, my dear students, let's say in round 1 you have scored somewhere around 500 to 550 marks. So round 2 can give you this. Okay, round 2. When you do in round, you might score, my dear students, somewhere around 551 to 600. That means that is going to give you or put you into a list of somewhere around 11,000 students. That means you will be landing a seat in a good medical college, a reputed one. Okay, maybe round 3 can push you here. Maybe round 3 can push you here. The prestigious one, medical college. And if you are a very good student, my dear students, who knows, round 3 can also push you here in the most premier medical colleges of India. Okay, so that's the benefit of doing question paper in round. Okay, so you should have a good strategy no matter what happens, no matter how confident you are, whether your confidence is low, whether your confidence is high, whether you're panicking, you're not panicking, do not skip on this strategy. Okay, do not do entire one section in one go. That is definitely going to lose at least 20 to 30 minutes, and 20 to 30 minutes can give you somewhere around 50 plus, minimum 50 plus marks. And 50 marks, you know guys, it can put you in this category to this, this to this, and I'm sure you are smart enough to understand what kind of loss it is. So always do question paper in rounds. This is the most efficient, tried and tested strategy. Please follow that. Next, what we need to understand is, my dear students, again, biology was lengthy in NEET 2025 exam. So again, there's a high chance that biology in NEET 2026 will also be lengthy. So whenever it is lengthy, it is very important for you to have a practice of reading. See, if you're a good student, if you're an average student, I have seen most of the students make short notes. You have a class notes, then you do multiple time, you do revision, then you kind of start having your short notes. Now, short notes are very good for a revision, like 2 hours before exam or 2 days before exam or maybe 1 day before exam. Short notes are extremely important. They give you that flexibility to prepare in a very short time. But again, if you just rely on your short notes, this is somehow going to affect your reading abilities. So if the question paper is lengthy, especially if bio question paper, each and every question, if you see at an average out of 90, if you say 50 to 60 questions are lengthy, that means you need to have a habit of reading, and that too quickly reading, efficient reading, quick reading. And that reading should help you in giving the accurate answer. So to increase your efficiency of reading, to increase your accuracy in giving right answer, my dear students, you need to read a lot. And that's exactly where NCERT is going to help you. So in these remaining 20 days, my dear students, you need to read each and every chapter of biology, NCERT textbook, grade 11 and grade 12, minimum 5 times. If you can do it 6 times, 7 times, 8 times, 10 times, excellent. You're going to move more closer and closer to your target, the best 360 out of 360 score. But minimum 5 time reading is important to increase your reading speed, to increase your efficiency and accuracy in attempting the bio question. Minimum 5 times. Okay, because if you will not read NCERT more and more, see, if you read once, you take more time. If you read second times, you will take even lesser time. So when you do multiple revisions, especially in these 20 days I'm talking about, please note, you have to read the NCERT minimum 5 times. So when you do it, my dear students, you are going to prepare your mind how to quickly read, That is going to save your time. So if I talk about the toppers who are scoring somewhere around 350 or 355 plus or even 360 in biology, they are somewhere using just 40 minutes to complete it. So, but if you are an average student means who has not paid much attention to NCERT, you were there in the class, you have attended the class very nicely, you have understood the concept, you have made the class notes and now you have made the short notes, but somewhere you have not given enough importance to NCERT reading, my dear students, then you might end up taking somewhere around more than 70 or somewhere around 75 minutes to complete the bio paper, which is a huge loss, because whatever you will save in biology, you can use up in physics or even chemistry if required. Okay, so if you complete in 40 minutes, you can save somewhere around 30 to 35 minutes and invest them your physics and chemistry to get somewhere around 40 to 50 marks. And again, as I told you, it can shift you in a good category. Okay. So if you were in this category, maybe you can fall in this. If you were here, you can fall in this category. So it is increasing your chances of getting good and good medical college. So I really hope and I am pretty sure that you are going to understand this very important point over here. Your target is to complete biology in 40 minutes. And you will be able to do it only when you have done enough revisions and enough NCERT reading, minimum 5 times every chapter of biology in the remaining 20 minutes. Please note this, okay? And also, while doing revision, also focus the diagrams which are there in NCERT, as well as the diagrams which your class teachers might have given you in form of PDFs or in form of drawings, etc. So those diagrams may or may not come directly in your NEET exam questions, but those diagrams are very effective in memorizing the concept in the right way. That will help you to give answers, especially when the questions are tricky or twisted or even lengthy. So diagram based revision is also very important. Please notice this. This is the second reason. Talking about the third reason, my dear students, now this is if you are giving mock test, especially if you are giving mock test only on online platform, and especially you are just taking the answers, my dear students, online, and you are not using OMR, this is where it is going to cost you a lot. So you need to have that muscle memory. Your hands should know how to fill OMR. Otherwise, if you're going to do it for the first time or you have just tried 4 or 5 times, this is definitely going to increase your chances of making a mistake, or maybe you will end up taking more time than required. So obviously you don't want to lose marks because of the OMR practice. Please notice this. Please notice this, my dear students. Next is, my dear students, I have also noticed students who are not doing sufficient revision. Okay. So for example, today I teach you a particular topic and I also tell you it's difficult, you need to do a revision. But because of some reason, because of ignorance, because of some or the other kind of busyness that you have in your life, you are not able to revise that particular thing. Now, if you do not revise that particular concept, let's say today I teach you how to solve a particular pedigree. Okay, pedigree analysis I'm teaching you. And I told you to revise it, but you still do not revise it for the next 30 days. I'm telling you on day 1, what was your level? That means, for example, you were at 0 with respect to pedigree. Even after 30 days, you will be still at 0 if you do not do the revision. So, right kind of revision strategy is also important, my dear students. In the graph, we are trying to explain you same thing. If you do spaced repetition means, so revision or repetition should also come with certain frequency. So for example, if I'm teaching you pedigree analysis today, it's not that for 6 hours you have to keep doing it. No, invest your, let's say, 30 to 40 minutes today. Maybe after 4-5 days you can again repeat it. Again, after 4-5 days you can again repeat it. So that's how you need to revise. So first attempt you can do it today. If I'm teaching you today, go and practice, let's say, 5 questions. Maybe out of 5 questions, maybe 2 questions you'll be able to get it, and maybe 3 questions you'll get it incorrect. Let's say after some time, maybe it can be 2 days or after 3 days, you try to attempt it again. But again, when you were doing it for the first time, you also need to note your errors, where you made a mistake. So if you got 2 questions of pedigree on day 1 right and 3 incorrect, you need to know what kind of mistake you have made. So if you know the mistake, it increases your chances of eliminating that mistake in the next attempt. Okay, so review your error, rapidly resolve them, and as well as resolve the questions. So maybe after 7 days you try them again, maybe after 15 days you try them again. So if you keep on revisiting the concept again and again, you keep on analyzing your mistake and ensuring that you at least do not make the same mistake again, that could increase your accuracy from 50 to 95%. 5% we are reserving for the silly mistake which you can anyway anyhow make. Okay, so that's how the 5 revision rule work, my dear students. I hope this much is clear and understandable. Last, my dear student, last reason, my dear students, the last reason is, if you notice the entire NCERT, with respect to biology only, my name is Kiran Chaudhary and I teach botany. Okay, so with respect to botany or biology, I will try to explain you this point, my dear students. So for example, there are chapters in grade 11 as well as grade 12 NCERT biology textbook. But out of those chapters, only 90 questions need to be made. Okay, only 90 questions. And if you have seen the PYQs, or even if you have seen the NEET 2025 exam paper, you will see there are certain topics, there are certain chapters from where maximum questions are coming. For example, with respect to botany, if I explain, my dear students, like 5 to 6 questions from plant kingdom have come. Okay. Then 7 to 8 questions from molecular basis of inheritance. Again 5 to 6 questions from sexual reproduction, flowering plant. Living world 0 question came. Biological classification 2 or 3 questions came. Right? So there are certain topics, certain chapters from where maximum questions are coming, and there are certain from where few questions are coming. Also, there's a very important stat I want to tell you, my dear students. Shocking stat. 20% makes your 70%. That means 20% of the total all topics, my dear students, they are going to decide your 70% of your NEET exam paper. So you need to know what are the topics, what are the chapters from where in the NEET exam NT is asking maximum questions, and you need to decide how good you are. See, in the last 20 days, do not try to master something where your confidence is almost near to 0, okay, or 10%. So there's a high chance that you might not end up getting that particular concept questions accurately, okay, because and then you have to invest a lot of time, which will be at the cost of doing revision of those topics which you are already good at. So in the last 20 days, your revision has to be very structured. Whatever topics in all the subjects you are good at, they should remain good. Which are great, they should also remain great. And for that, you have to revise them, you have to revisit them, you have to analyze them, your mistake, whatever you're doing in your mock test. Okay, so analyze the mock test, analyze your PYQs. PYQs are just not to be done, let's say 10 times, no. PYQs are there for you to get the right idea that from this particular chapter, from these many topics, how many questions are coming and what kind of questions are coming. So while doing PYQ, sit with your NCERT and keep marking, okay, from this chapter, from this topic, from this paragraph, 4 times the question has come, 5 times the question has come, 2 times the question has come, this kind of question has come, that kind of question has come. So next time when you do the revision from NCERT, you know how much time you have to give to a particular para, a particular page, or particular topic. And from every chapters, my dear students, there will be some topics which are easy to understand, some which are difficult to understand. And so far, you will be knowing in every subject what is easy for you, what is difficult for you, what is very simple for you. Right? So the topics, maybe you might still be worried about few topics in physics or chemistry or botany or zoology, my dear students, you are still worried at. But please notice, please find out the topics on which you are still wasting your time, you're still worried, how many questions are actually coming in NEET exam. And if you, let's say, even if you skip those questions, how many marks you will lose, okay. So again, if by losing those questions, if you skip those questions, if you skip those topics, if you skip those estimated number of questions on which those topics can be asked, my dear students, and still if it is putting you somewhere around 550 or between 550 to 600, you still are going to get selected. So do not waste your time or do not invest time heavily on the topics, on the areas where you are not good at. Last 20 days, you need to maintain those topics, those concepts, those chapters where you are already good at, and that is going to guarantee you a selection or a selection in a good medical college. So strategy is important. How you train yourself, how you train your mind, how do you do your self-talking, it is very, very important. So please do not waste your time on low weightage, as well as if something is very difficult and it has a very low probability of getting asked, you can skip that, because your minimum target is to get selected, to get a seat in a government medical college. So these were, my dear students, 5 important reasons which I have understood by interacting with many students. I keep doing it, my dear students, from last 15 years. I'm meeting students every year. So many students I teach, so many students, thousands of students I see, I interact after they give their mock test. So this is the kind of mistakes which I have experienced in my last 15 years of experience. So I am requesting you, these are the most common 5 reasons. If they are resonating with you, please start working on it. And remember, at least 20 mock tests you have to give in the remaining 20 days. If you can make it 30, excellent, but minimum 20 mock tests. And just giving mock tests is not important. You have to also analyze. You have to analyze subject by subject, section by section. Okay, so what mistakes you have made in mock test 1 should not be repeated in mock test 2. Okay, you can make a new mistake, but please promise to yourself, analyze paper very nicely, study those areas where you made a mistake and ensure that you do not repeat the same mistake in the mock test 2. So likewise, if you keep on analyzing your paper and eliminating your mistakes from the previous or learning from the mistakes of your previous mock test, that is also an excellent improvement. I'm telling you, by the time you reach the 20th mock test, you will be very good, and definitely you will be somewhere around, my dear students, in this category or this category. If your preparation is very good, you might also be in this category. So whether you are in any of the 3 categories, definitely you will be getting selected. So that's all, my dear students, from this session. I hope you have enjoyed. Please remember, my dear students, a very important line which I like from Martin Luther King Jr. We must accept finite disappointment but never lose the infinite hope. The first mock test that you write, let's say tomorrow, you might get somewhere around 320 or 400 marks, but that's okay. In the next mock test, try to do not get disappointed if you are not coming in the category of like somewhere around 500 to 550, which I told, which is important for you to get selected. Let's say you're scoring below that. Do not get too much disheartened or too much disappointed. Promise yourself at least you can improve by 20 to 25 marks in the next mock test. So imagine if you keep on improving 20 marks, 25 marks, 30 marks, 50 marks. Imagine what kind of improvement you can see in your marks after you finish the 20th mock test, which will be before your NEET exam. So that's exactly the mindset you need to grow. So that's all, my dear students. All the very best for your upcoming NEET 2026 exam. Bye. Take care.